What's up, fam? I'm back. I'm doing a second video today. We're going to do some COVID diaries. And it's not going to be about COVID as much as it is about digging up, investigating, and researching different kinds of legal cases and murder cases and so forth. Unjust injustice. We got Ahmaud Arbery. This is in Georgia once again. I told you about Tamla Horsford. And if you haven't already looked her up, I invite you to go to the other video and look up Tamla Horsford. Her case is very important, and it also happened in the state of Georgia. So Ahmaud Arbery, back to him. This young man was jogging, and he was shot by two individuals, Gregory McMichael and his son Travis McMichael. He was shot in the back, and they were alarmed when they saw a black man running. So they got their guns and got in their truck and harassed him and followed him until they just decided to shoot him. The thing is, the state of Georgia didn't find these murderers guilty. Can you guess why? I'm sure you've got a couple of guesses as to why, right? So what happened is that there's an uprising, well, not an uprising, but there's an uproar because people all over the nation now are getting this, are seeing this, and we need to look at this beyond the state of Georgia's law enforcement system. Obviously, Georgia isn't on point. But, this isn't anything new. Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, Florida, Kentucky, all of these places have the same thing going on. And it's been this way for a long time. So, again, it seems like there might be a high probability of some racial hate crimes happening here. So I invite you to look this case up too while you're in your COVID quarantine. While some of us have a lot of time on our hands, maybe we can put the Netflix away for a minute and we can put the Facebook and Snapchat and Instagram and Twitter. You could still use those things to kind of talk about this if you wanted to. Tell your friends on Twitter, tell your friends on Snapchat, tell your friends on TikTok, tell your friends on WhatsApp, tell your friends on Instagram, word to your mother. That's what I'm talking about, okay? Anyway, this is no laughing matter. Ahmaud Arbery was killed during his usual runs. He was a runner, he was a jogger. And, I have talked to different people in different forums about this, and even some people would say, well, stop being unarmed. This was an African American woman, by the way, and she was basically laying blame on him for his own death because he was unarmed. Now, I'm not a black man, but I have to say, a black man or any person should not have to be afraid to take a jog in their area, in their home community, to the point where they have to carry a gun. First of all, carrying a gun and jogging and running is probably, it's inconvenient. You have this heavy gun that you have to kind of like somewhere strapped to your body as you're running. It's already kind of difficult with a cell phone and keys, right? If you have a cell phone and you're listening to music as you're running. But a gun, you shouldn't have to do that. But this is not anything unusual. Uh, of course, I think these guys just saw a black man running and they decided, hey, let's go shoot us an N, right? They say the N word. And that's exactly what happened. They shot this young man in the back. And then they said, "Oh, well, we thought he was a burglar." Black man running past some white people. White fright is what they call it. I don't know. But in any case, I want you to take a look at this. And also, I want you to go to his website. When you're Googling and looking around at different things, I want you to check out runwithmod.com. That's the website here. And if I could invite you to sign the petition, we want murder charges against him. Now, I think the news this morning was saying that there was an indictment of sorts, but I just don't think the state of Georgia is really, really trying to do right by this. So, what I'm asking you to do is to make some calls. You see that number here, 777-800-0689. I know I'm asking you to do a little something, but listen, you don't have to get off your butt. You don't even have to dig up the numbers to call. You don't even have to dial anything else but that number right there, because once you get on there, it's going to tell you what the deal is. Okay? We want to get justice. We want a special investigator from outside of Glenn County. That's where this happened, Glenn County, Georgia, outside of Tom Durden, the prosecutor. We want an independent investigation, and we want an indictment for murder. How are you going to claim self defense when you got out of your home and into your truck and followed this man? He didn't even know you existed. He was jogging, and you're going to get in your truck with your boy, your overgrown boy. I mean, these are old men. Both of them are old men, the dad and the son, with your guns and shoot this man in the back. And then you're claiming self defense. So keep in mind, I believe these guys that shot him were retired police officers or are former employees of the law enforcement there. So you can kind of imagine the dynamics here now. There's a little bit more to it, but when you call this number here, they're going to tell you what you might want to say. You want to remain respectful, and then you hit star, and it will connect you directly to these different entities like the Georgia District Attorney's Office, even the FBI. I had a chance to talk to somebody at the FBI, J.C. Hacker, at the Atlanta FBI field office. I had a chance to talk to a couple of people at the FBI. I was surprised because you usually don't get live people at the FBI. It's really hard. You have to stay on for a long time. It's not that easy to get a person at the FBI line. 9 times out of 10, you have to leave a message. But I did, and when you're done with the first call, you hit star, and you're connected to the next call. Some of these places are busy, so you'll be automatically connected to the next call and the next call. So it's super easy. I just ask 15 minutes of your time. If you really care about this, 15 minutes of your time, make some calls, sign the petition, and do some research, Google, dig around, and talk to your social network about Ahmaud Arbery and what happened to him, because we don't need to have this keep happening. A black man being shot in the back is like a child being shot in the back. This is someone's son. This is someone's brother. This is someone's dad, maybe, right? This is someone's friend. This could be anybody. This could be you, even if you're not a black man. Where do we draw the line? Because, next thing you know, it'll be a Chinese person being shot because somebody's ignorance over COVID. Or someone who might not be Chinese but looks Asian. That's me. I get clocked for Asian, especially if I'm standing next to someone who's Asian. I get clocked for that. And I've received some really, really nasty racial bigotry. Luckily, we haven't had anyone shoot at us. But I'm saying, if we ignore this because we say, well, not my problem, then we leave the door open for any of us eventually to be shot at and for nothing to be done. Okay? I'm talking about LGBT people. I'm talking about elderly people. Because there are people now that pretty much want to say, hey, let's get rid of the elder. Let's let the elderly people get the COVID and let them die off so we can, move on and open up the economy again. Let them all die off. They're old. They've already lived. They're old and sick. Why don't we just shoot them then, right? Hey, where do we draw the line? If we let this go on, where do we draw the line? And then we can say, well, why stop at elderly and Chinese and black people and LGBT people? Why don't we just shoot Jews? And then why don't we just shoot women? Why don't we just get rid of the women? See, we are in a time and place right now where we have a lot of time to look at this and to do something about it. Even if you're stuck at home, the least you could do is Google it and talk about it. So I invite you to do this here if you feel so inclined. Go on YouTube. Take a look at this video here. Find it on YouTube.
Ask anyone who knew him. Ahmaud Arbery loved to run.
Unless it was pouring rain down outside, Ahmaud was going to be running.
But somehow on a sunny Sunday in a coastal Georgia community, Arbery's run became a deadly chase. 1 p.m., February 23rd, according to police reports, Arbery is seen in the Satilla Shores neighborhood, where residents say there had been break-ins. He was walking around a home under construction, and then he's spotted running in the road. His presence triggers calls to 911.
You said someone's breaking into it right now?
No, it's all open. It's under construction. And he's running right now. There he goes right now.
Okay, what is he doing?
He's running down the street.
According to the police report,
So, find this video, calls for arrest, grow, and shooting death of Ahmaud Arbery. It says here, though a prosecutor says he'll let a grand jury decide whether the man who killed Ahmaud Arbery will face charges, many in this South Georgia community cannot understand why no one's been arrested. And this is not this is not an exception, folks. This is something that has been happening for aeons and aeons and aeons, and it's still happening in 2020. We have not changed as much as we think we have. We are not as good as we think we are. And if we sit here and deny or ignore and think, well, not my problem, I'm not in Georgia, I'm not black, not my problem, then we are part of this enabling process. We are each responsible. All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between and outside of that dynamic, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know what you dig up, anything that I might not have covered. I might be talking about these things a little bit more on the live stream. We'll see. All right. I appreciate your time. And I thank you for watching. Talk to you soon.